the fields are always wet with rain. After a summer shower, when I saw you standing in the garden, wet with rain.
Hi, Mark Cram for SpicingUpYourLife.com. Well, it's Thursday, May 27th, and it's been a few days since we've been in our garden. We've had some really good rain this last week, so let's go take a look and see what's happened over the last few days in our garden. Well, the rain has done wonders for everything in our garden. Our peppers are starting to really take off now. We see a lot of blossoms on them. We even have some peppers forming, and again, just really starting to look like a garden. We look over at our okra here, which is again just really coming along very, very nicely. We're very happy about that. And of course, you can see our tomatoes just really developing nicely. You can see we had some. We've kind of watched last week. We've got some wonderful bunches of tomatoes in here that are going to be just beautiful once they start to turn, which should not be that long away. And these applause are just, they're really, the way they develop is really quite nice. If we look at our potato, it has bloomed and is blooming, and shortly we should be able to pull up some very, very nice potatoes out of there. Our heirloom tomatoes, I'm quite surprised. A really interesting tomato. Grows very tall, very few suckers that come off of it, and again, it's starting to head upward, and we're seeing some blossoms on it as it does. And as my brother promised, they grow very, very tall, and so we're looking forward to continuing to stake those as we go along here. Our beans, again, I probably should have staked these up, but they're going to be hard to get in there and pick. They've really, really grown well, and they are in blossom, and again, we should have some beans by next week, I would think, on some of these plants. We've already had a couple of harvests of our snap peas, and again, they're just have to stay on top of them day by day now, because I can see, I picked them last night, and I can still see there's some I could probably pick off today for lunch. We can see that our basil has developed really very nicely. Our first planting of okra really starting to take off. We still have some lettuce, and we should be able to get a couple more cuts of lettuce out of that. We've had some of our onions back here, and they have started to develop as well. So let's go back and take a look at our squash and cucumbers, because they're starting to set now too. You can see our squash here, and it looks like we've got some zucchini here that looks like we could probably hopefully get some zucchini off of here in the next few days. We have several that are blooming here, and again, we should have those before the week is out, I would think. Cucumbers, we've got a number of cucumbers on here. I haven't really seen any big enough to pick yet, but again, blossoming quite profusely, spreading out nicely. We need to get them, I think, tied up to the frame here so that we can keep them off the ground as much as possible. So that's what's happening in the way of our vegetable garden. I do have to take a look at this gardenia here. This thing, I've never seen this many blooms on a gardenia. Just amazing how this thing has blossomed this year, and of course it smells wonderful. And again, by keeping the deer out of our garden, we've managed to have some wonderful roses come in, and we're very excited about that as well. So let's go outside the garden and take a further look at some of our flowering parts of our garden. Well, you can see that our wild hibiscus is, again, it really looks healthy. We've managed to tie it up so that it's not all over the place as well, and I think it should respond very well to that as the stems stiffen up a little bit. Lemon tree, again, looks very healthy, although very few set lemons on it. Again, our gardenia, just amazing the number of blossoms on that. As far as the rest of the garden goes, you can see that our salvia is probably about at its peak, a little bit past its peak, I should say, and it'll be maybe by the next time I do an update, I'll have to have that cut back, and so this will be a much sparser garden here, although right now it's very lush and looks very nice. As far as our rollout garden here, we're seeing a number of things blossoming here. We should have, by the next time, I would think, a lot more blooms on here, and we should start seeing a lot of color in here, which would be very nice indeed. Ivy, again, really doing well. Seen some grazing, it looks like, by some deer a little bit, but again, they can't get at most of it, and that's what's keeping this thing really going well for us. We've got our dahlia down here, which, if you remember from last year, this just a beautiful plant, and of course every year it sends up a few more shoots and should be, again, look very nice. I have planted a couple more dahlias, just some bulbs that I bought late, and haven't seen those pop up yet, but hopefully we will. And again, we appreciate you taking the time to be with us in our garden, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks again for being with us. For SpicingUpYourLife.com, this is Mark Cram.